Hi guys, my name's Krish.
My name's Eldin.
And today we're representing Los Hermanos MMA, and we're going to be going through a few basic fundamentals of stand-up striking in mixed martial arts. We're going to start off with going through your guard, your basic 1-2s, a few defensive techniques and footwork, and then we'll build it up as we go along through basics.
We both come from a Muay Thai background predominantly. Krish has about 11 years training, I have about 7. But yeah, let's get into it.
Okay guys, we're going to go into the warm-up now, just before we get started, and I'd recommend going through this circuit at least 3 times before you get into the dynamic stretches on the actual workout today, just to make sure that you've warmed up well enough before we get started. Cool. So we're going to start off with just some jogging on the spot for 10 seconds, nice and light, making sure that you're using the full capacity of your lungs. I'm going to count in from 5, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going for knees up, fast as you can for 10 seconds. 5, 2, 1, and heel flicks 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Star jumps 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and last one we're going to go for 3 burpees. So down, knees up, big jump. 2, last one. 3. Cool.
First exercise we'll be looking at is the lunge. It's a really good way to warm your legs up. I'm sure most of you have probably done this one before. Seeing as it is the biggest muscle group, we do want to get a lot of blood flow to this area, and it's a great way to get your heart rate up as well. Just make sure your back's straight and your knees don't come over your toes, and then you can add in a twist to the outside just to make it a little bit more advanced. This will help you with your rotation when we move on to the other exercises later on, especially when it comes to throwing punches. We do need to have quite a good rotation capacity in your back. Next exercise is walking. So with this one, it's almost like you're touching your toes, like the standard hamstring stretch. If you can't touch your toes, you just want to make it a bit easier, bend your legs even further. I'm trying to keep mine as straight as I can. And the final thing we can do is add a bit of an advancement onto that, which combines it with a hamstring stretch. Just step forward, make sure your foot's as close to your hand as possible, and just bring it back in. And you can repeat this as many times as you want. If you did want to pause the video, rewind, go back through things, you're more than welcome to. Just take your time on this warm-up. The most important thing we can do is build a solid foundation, as with all things. So start off with your feet just wider than shoulder width. Pick out a spot at the top center, almost like a triangle shape. And if you're right-handed, bring your left foot forward, and left-handed, bring your right foot forward, because we want that power hand to be at the back, and just show you from a different angle. So just slightly wider than shoulder, mark out your point of your triangle, and step forward into that. Making sure that your legs are straight and you're keeping the equal distance between them. Alright, so we're going to look at using our stance to actually implement a guard, as we'll probably need to be defending ourselves at some point. So when you bring your arms up, make sure you're using your elbow to block your ribs, shoulders slightly hunched over, just to give you that additional protection around the sides of your head and your chin. Same again, opposite foot forward this time. Just cueing that shoulder and elbow tightness in as well, and then showing you from a different angle. Reinforce those cues, make sure your balance is right in the middle so you can bounce a little bit on your knees. You want to feel nice and light on your feet. And again, just from a different angle, reinforcing those cues.
At this point we did touch on moving the guard, so from your stance, as I was saying, elbow to block the ribs, hand to block the head, keeping your hands in front of you. What we're going to work on now is some more specific blocks as opposed to just holding your general guard up. So facing your partner, if you've got one, you're going to go for your standard guard, and to block your straight shots, you've got a double palm on the front. I'll show you from this angle as well. We're just going double palm on the front to stop the straight shots. This time we're going to work on the hook shot, so just throw it right. We're going to go here, left hook. Okay. So when you're blocking the hooks, you're going this for straights. For hooks, to stop it coming around the sides, can you see this big gap I've got here? You're just going to cut, and you want your hand to cut the back of your head. Shoulder into your chest like you're answering the phone. That's it. There we go. Cool, I'll throw some of you now straight, yeah? Here we go, 1, 2, left hook, right hook. Right. Again, last time. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice and tight guard.
Once you feel comfortable with all the things that we've just done, your guard, your stance, let's add a bit of movement into this. So we're not going to be staying static usually. So if you're going forward, you want to drive with your lead leg first, and just make sure you're keeping that equal distance in between your legs whilst you step. So we'll go backwards this time, and this time we're going to lead with the rear leg. Now left side, starting off with your lead leg, big step across, again making sure you've got that equal distance in between your feet at all times, and then we're stepping to the right, leading with the right leg. To begin the strikes, we're going to start off with the most basic, which is your jab. So reinforce the cue, get in your guard, and we're going to be using the lead foot this time to twist and propel that arm forward. So lead foot goes in, hips follow along with the shoulder, and then you can just propel your arm forward, making sure you keep your opposite arm nice and tight and against the body, blocking those head shots and body shots from coming in. So foot first, hip and shoulder, and all of those should sort of twist naturally together. So I'm just going to show it on the opposite side for all the left-handers. So if you aren't going to use the foot, the hip and the shoulder, you can see there's not really much power in there at all, and the range is definitely decreased. As Eldon will show here, you can see that the range increases massively just by adding on that twist of the foot. Now we're going to show the straight punch, following on from the jab. It follows on really nicely because all you're doing is throwing your weight the other way. So you're twisting inwards, and then you're going to use your lead foot to spin slightly out, rear foot transition, drive off that back foot, straight up through your shoulder, and throw your arm out, just like you do with the jab. So that rear straight is your power punch. So if you are right-handed, your right hand should be at the back. And I'm just going to show you from a different angle again. So we're going to reinforce them cues again. Step forward into your guard, use the jab, and then just practice following on with that. So cue again, we're going for a southpaw or left-handed straight this time, just so you can see it from a different angle. Make sure you're transferring your weight and driving off that rear leg.
This time I'm going to show you a little exercise you can do with a ball if you are by yourself, you don't have anyone to train with. Same again, start off just slightly wider than shoulder width. Take your step forward in your guard. You're going to start off with the ball in your left hand. So what I want you to do, you're just going to extend nice and slow. Check your posture from this angle, make sure everything's alright. Then from here, on the retreat, I'm going to just switch. As it's coming through, I want to just pass the ball back. Same again. and it's just a good way to get you in the rhythm of doing things. But notice how in between my shots I'm sinking my weight down on the shot, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. That sink is just so we can get a bit more power into the shot on the drive. I'll show you from the side now. So going 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. If that's a bit too easy for you, you want to try something a bit more advanced, get the ball, instead of swapping hands this time, you're just going to let it go and fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to step in your guard this time. Instead of going straight forward, we're going that way instead. So we're twisting in. So we're going to go whichever way you prefer. You can either do it this way or you can go that way, just depending on whichever your wrist feels better at. So we're going to go 1 and back in again. So just notice how I'm twisting on this lead leg. 2. Good. And back in again. Get that full twist and really drag your shoulder around that way. And 3. Good. Okay, so now we're going to switch guards and we're going to go for the other lead foot. Going in this time. Same again, we're going around this way. So we're coming in again. You want to start off. 1, 2. Same again, you can either go that side or that side. Just make sure this elbow's high. I'll explain why in just a little while. So we're going to go 1, last 3, 2, 3. So now let's take into account everything we've just done, movements and combination punching. We're going to add them both in together now. So let's start off in our guard. First one we're going to go through is your basic jab and how to move forward with your jab. So anytime you move forward, you want to start with your lead foot, follow him with your rear, but you want to keep that equal distance in between the two. So we start off here, and with your jab, I want you to almost imagine you're stepping over something on the floor. So we're going to lift up first. So you're going to lift up, and this just facilitates the step with the power. So we're going to go 1, and as you step down, that's when the power comes in. So we're going to go again, 1, and again, 2, and last one, 3. Cool. And I'm just going to show you from another angle as well. This side. We're going to start off now, advancing to our opponent. You might find you've not got enough room to throw the punches, or maybe a bit too close or a bit too far, either way. So what we're going to do from here, so you can see now that my partner's just a little bit out of range. Yeah? So if I want to make up the distance, same again, I'm going to drive off this lead foot. I'm going to step in, 1, 2, after we've thrown it, then we're going to come back out this way, back out again. So we're stepping in one way, throwing your punches, and back out again. So I'll show you one more time. Even if your jab is out of range, you can still follow up with the second strike. So as I'm coming in here, if I find myself short on this side, I can still drive through with that number 2, because it's just a little bit longer range than that first jab. So that concludes our video of some of the basics today. We've been through your guard, some movement, how to defend yourself, and we've given you a few exercises to do whilst you're at home as well. Hope you liked the video. If you do want to see more, you can get at us on Instagram, los_hermanos MMA. Just drop us a message, let us know if you've got any recommendations or you want to see something else next time. Thanks for watching, take care.